It's time for Be in the Driver's Seat with Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and mental health expert, Dr. Teresa Moore. A Saturday morning mix of cars, credit, and wellness created just for you. Brought to you by Joe Lunghammer Chevrolet of Waterford. Plan your next vehicle purchase or get your credit rolling in the right direction with Regina today. And now, Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and Dr. Teresa Moore.
Good morning, good morning. You are listening to Be in the Driver's Seat, and I'm Regina Eileen Woodard, a.k.a. the Queen of Car Loans. Good morning, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. It's Dr. T. Happy Saturday, everybody.
So I'm super excited because we're into the new year. New year means new things, new goals, new everything, right?
Yes, I like all things new. All things new.
Look, I think we all like things new. But how was your New Year's, Dr. T?
New Year was bringing in a New Year was good. I was able to spend it with my church family and my husband. Unfortunately, my kid didn't come home. So.
Okay, well, sometimes, but I believe your child.
Shade.
Right, that was LaShay, and she's on the line too.
She is.
Right, Cierra. You came home from, but she was home, right?
For Christmas, yeah.
But she came home for Christmas, right?
Yep, she did.
So
I came home for Christmas, and I stayed for a few days. So, I had to get back to work.
It's compromise.
Okay.
It's different. It's different when, Dr. T, when you have a young entrepreneur.
You're absolutely right. I'm sure Brenda was excited because Shay was home.
Yes, facts. She was happy I was able to help her clean and cook and get ready for the holidays.
Did you actually clean or did you just watch your mom?
Now you know.
Right. No, wait.
Now you know Brenda Davis had me cleaning and scrubbing from head to toe that whole house.
Wait a minute. Did y'all hear Sierra in the background talking about that part, Shay?
Right.
Somebody, I feel like I'm being shaded this morning.
Hey, you started it.
It's like... Right. It's like the parents, they want you to come home as soon as you get there. Do that.
Like you a kid, right? Like you a kid, right?
Hey, y'all be bossing us around and stuff, and we don't mind because we missed you anyway. We probably missed it a little bit.
Listen.
Sierra said, hold on. She said, hold on. What you got, Sierra? What you got?
You said, I don't know.
I don't know about that.
I know it hit you quick when you get there and you walk through the door and you remember.
But you know what? Come on now. Y'all give a shout out to the parents because parents do make sure that the children have all their favorites.
No, for real. And it's up to them to keep the traditions going and everything, too. So shout out to the parents. And my mom always makes sure everything is the same every time I come home. So
wait a minute, Regina. Wait. So tell us what you do for Christmas.
So
you had some special visitors.
Wait, look. So Brenda Davis, the realtor that moves us, joins us too. Her daughter is LaShay McKether.
The Glamorous
Rebel.
Yes.
And then we have Dr. Teresa Moore. Go ahead and introduce your daughter. Give your daughter's whole.
Listen, Cierra Warren, who is the master baker of Delicious Sweets Bake Shop.
I love that. So you know what? I look forward to this once a month because it's family time. It's family time at being in the driver's seat. So let me just put this out here right now. If you are looking to be a guest Be in the Driver's Seat, what is our email address?
So our email is beinthedriverseat@gmail.com. So make sure you put the S on drivers, and it's at gmail.com.
And then if you miss our episode that's on when we come on every Saturday morning from 8:30 to 9:30 a.m., you can always go to Be in the Driver's Seat with the S, like Dr. T says, .com, and listen to our show after the fact. And then we also talked about we do offer like snippets that day, but we're going to change that. We're going to be offering that on Mondays. Yeah. So on Mondays, you're going to you can get a snippet. You can see it on our social media, on our Facebook. And you can also go to our Facebook page, Be in the Driver's Seat with an S, and like our page. Then you can also go to our Instagram page, Be in the Driver's Seat, and follow us on Instagram. We are looking to grow our social media platforms, right?
Yes, but let's not forget our YouTube channel. So make sure you all go to Be in the Driver's Seat on YouTube and subscribe. We want you all to subscribe and follow us. We have some great things that we're sharing, so jump on.
So what I did for Christmas was I have 2 brothers that are special needs, and I had them home. So I actually, I was, the master cook in the kitchen. So what my master cook skills consisted of, I hit my sis up, Jerry Nicole Anderson. They call her Peaches. I'm giving her whole full government name. I hit her up for some macaroni and cheese. She made it. So, you probably saying, you just said you was a master cook in the kitchen, but I hit Nicole up. She hooked me up with some macaroni and cheese. Then I heard
You're a master in knowing who to call.
Oh, exactly. Thank you.
Resources.
Then I hit Dr. Teresa Moore up, and I said, what can you do for me? What can you do for the queen? She said, anything for your brothers? I said, absolutely. So she put together, she whatever Dr. T cooks, she slams on it. She rocks. So I had some green beans and some mashed potatoes.
And they was homemade, too. So
did she just put that out there?
Don't sleep on them because all of it was good. Yeah.
And I ain't ate yet, so that sounds real good.
Listen.
Your stomach growling? Mm-hmm. Well, just don't let it growl on the air, okay? All right. So you know what? Let's go ahead and get into our today's segment.
Yeah.
What our master?
Master baker.
Master baker.
Yeah. So the millennials are in the house today.
Did you say that right?
Millennials. Yeah. So I'm so excited. So again, we have Cierra Warren, who is the master baker, and LaShay McKether, who is the Glamorous Rebel. So we're starting with Cierra this morning. So Cierra, good morning.
Good morning. Happy New Year. Happy Saturday. I'm excited about today's topic. It's one that I don't really like, but I'm excited to talk about it and to share my insight, and hopefully it helps somebody.
Oh, great. So come on, let's get into it. What you going to be talking about today?
Okay, so today we're going to talk about how to handle inflation in business while maintaining customers. So I'm sure everybody knows about inflation because when you go to the store, just as a consumer, you see that everything is high. Eggs are high, butter is high, cleaning supplies, everything is high for everybody. So for the business owner, of course it's high for us. And I think sometimes it's difficult for our customers to relay that over. Like, okay, when I go to the store, it's high for me. So I know for this business, things are just as high for them, dealing with inflation. So that is one of my struggles right now. And, I sat down and I thought about ways that I could overcome the inflation because the reality is it's not going anywhere, and at least not right now.
Mm-hmm.
So with the inflation, I think it's really funny because I always go on a tangent about eggs. Eggs used to be $2.33 for 60. Like, literally, they used to be $2.33 for 60. And people might say, like, what? 60 eggs for $2.33? But now they're $22.77. Mm-hmm. Like, how do you go from $2.33 to $22.77? That's insane for a baker, right?
Wow. Because it's costing more for to be hatched. That's what, for the eggs to be hatched, it's cost more. You see, I got my self position. I almost said my butt. You see, I got my self position. It's more for it's called the bird, right? Who is it? Who actually lays the egg?
The chicken.
The chicken. So okay, my bad. So the chicken has to spread his legs harder and stand up high with his head up. That's the root.
I cannot write that. You're so silly. Oh my God. No, but it is a cycle though. It does stem from how things are being produced, and it trickles down all the way to the consumers and these business owners who are also using products and things in the grocery stores that we need to maintain and keep our businesses up. It's all just kind of a cycle.
Mm. But you know what? I also want to throw this in, everybody, because there's such a deficit in workers. People are having a difficult time getting people to come in and work, so they're paying their employees more. So because they're paying their employees more, they have to increase the cost of the item so that they can maintain what they're paying the employees. But I still have to question to go from $2.33 to $22. Yeah. That is like a $20 increase.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is, you used to could feed your entire family for $22. I know that I could at one point. Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy. So I guess that stems down to like I was saying with the cycle, it kind of affects how we're able to, like, Cierra, does that affect how your prices are right now as far as like for your cupcakes and stuff, how the eggs have gone up?
Yes. So everything, pretty much everything that I make has eggs in it, from cupcakes, cakes, cookies, even some of the icings have eggs in it. So, that's huge for me. But one thing I found that makes it a little bit easier is when you communicate to your customers, they know that things are higher because they see it at the stores. Yes. But sometimes they don't realize that, when they come in. So they're like, wow, last week this was $6. It's now $7.52.
Yes.
So what I've done is I've sent out an email to all of my customers, just thanking them for being customers, but then letting them know, like, inflation is here, and due to inflation, we have to raise our prices. Now, we've only increased our prices 50 cents, so it's not a huge increase, but for someone who's used to bringing in that exact amount every time they come in, they may have a little issue, but once you explain it to them, then they can say, you know what, you're right. Okay, I get it. And then they're okay. And, another thing, when your product is good, I found that people, they may say something about the price going up, but when they love the product, they will continue to support you and shop with you, as your customer.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, it's just important to communicate. That was good that you said that, because a lot of people don't do that in businesses, and I think that's where people get a little bit more irritated or just aren't as understanding, because they're people too. We're all people, at the end of the day. So, and we all go through things, and some of our experiences are similar. So just keeping that in mind and like having that open dialogue and communication, which is also something I'm going to touch on in my subject today, is so important, because people just want to be treated like, just with decency and respect. So when you give that to them, that kind of opens up that dialogue, so they have an understanding of why, and they don't just feel like they're being mistreated.
That's good.
Yeah. I love that you said that, though, because, sometimes people could look at you as a business owner and how nice your business is presented, and they may feel like they're just trying to raise their prices so they can make more money, or so they can get rich, or, things like that. And, a lot of times people look on the outside and they think like, oh my goodness, this business owner is doing great, and they have this and they have that. And they don't understand that sometimes the business owner gets paid the least amount of money, So I like that you said that.
So Cierra, we're going to take we're going to come back with your, so that you can finish that. We're going to take a break really quick, because we have to pay some bills.
Hi, I'm Dave Wilkie, Service Manager at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. Since the 1950s, Joe Longhammer and his family have been honored to service your vehicles. With 112 years of combined service experience, we can take care of any concern you might have. From warranty work to routine oil changes, we treat your vehicle like our own. Call now to schedule a next service appointment at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. Stop by anytime, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Get your vehicle serviced right every time. Call 248-683-7100. That's 248-683-7100.
Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Looking to buy or sell your home? Whether you're relocating to Michigan from another state or another country, moving across town, upgrading, or downsizing, Brenda D. Davis from Century 21 Town and Country Real Estate is your locally known home purchase expert. Buying or selling your home is a complex process. Let Brenda simplify it every step of the way. Brenda D. Davis, the realtor that moves you. Call 248-909-9711 and get moving on your new home purchase or sale today. That's 248-909-9711. Call now.
You are back to listening to Be in the Driver's Seat, and we're talking to Cierra Warren, the master baker. Cierra, when we went to break, you were talking about how business owners get the least amount. So let's pick up right there.
Okay, so what I was saying is a lot of times people think that because the business looks so great or they seem to have a lot of followers or customers, people think that, they're doing really well, and they could be doing really well. But when prices go up, sometimes people will say like, oh, they're just raising the prices so they can get more money. And they think that the business is rich or that the business owner is rich. And a lot of times people don't know that the business owner can take home the least amount of money, after paying all of the employees and all of their expenses and products and things like that. So I love what Shay was saying about communicating to the customers and letting them know, because then that takes away some of that, and they can feel for, okay, I've been going to this business or I've been going to this person for this service for so long, and I know how they are as a person. So I know they wouldn't just raise the prices up for their own special gain. It has to be a reason. So I think that it's really good, like she said, to communicate to the customers, and then they know. They know when they go in the store, but then they'll really know and understand when they hear it from you. And then hopefully that makes them want to keep supporting you even more.
Exactly. And that's just good business in general. You want to create that open dialogue with your customers and make them feel like this is a safe place. At least I do. And I feel like you cherish that too, Cierra. Like, you want everyone to feel comfortable when they walk in your door. You know what I mean? So just having that open dialogue, it kind of creates like, just an overall good experience. And as a business owner, that should just be your top priority anyway.
That's good. That's good. And Cierra, you said, how to maintain customers through this inflation. And when you think about it, not just maintaining customers, but maintaining staff, because if everything goes up, you have to still be able to pay your staff. So, can you talk a little bit about how staffing affects, the business when inflation happens?
Yeah, that's a big one. So one thing that I do when inflation started to happen, I looked at my inventory because, when you're spending money out, you have to pay the staff. That's not a question. But when you're buying products and you're spending money out, sometimes you could overbuy, or you can just buy this because it's on sale, or maybe we need a lot of this and a lot of that. But when the inflation happened, I really started paying attention to my inventory, what we actually need, and how much we're selling. So when you do that, you can kind of gauge and see like, okay, this is what we need for this month versus overbuying or spending unnecessarily. And then you don't have to worry about, well, how am I going to pay my staff? You know what I'm saying? You're not just buying like crazy, but you're really going off of your true numbers. And that helps you to gauge what you need to purchase, what's important, and make sure that your staff are being paid.
And I want
to,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Shay.
I was just going to say, it was really, you saying that like you write down and have a budget sheet, and as a business owner how much your products are, and just keeping up with your overall inventory as far as clients and what they like. That's so important. That's just really key information, and that's really some tea that you just dropped right there for a lot of new business owners.
Is that what Millennium call it? Is that called tea? Because we call it nuggets. Y'all call it tea?
Listen, it's a gemstone. It's all of that, because people don't realize that as a business owner, you have to keep up with those numbers. You can't just jump into a business and not know where your income is going or where your funds are going or anything, because the one person that's going to ask at the end of the year is the IRS.
That's real.
So you might want to stay up on stuff like that in general, just so that you're not being, attacked or, blindsided by it, because it's going to come up every year. So that's really important now that tax season is about to approach us. That is so important. So thank you for sharing that.
Millenniums and the drip, 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 drip.
Oh, my God.
T.
They dripping up in here.
They dripping up in here.
Yeah.
Dripping.
I like that.
Go ahead, Cierra. I just had to get that in there. Go ahead. It's your turn again. We all trying to engage.
Yeah, LaShay, I love what you said about that, the IRS and all of that, because that's real too. And if you don't know, as a business owner, the money you're making, you have to pay taxes on it. So that's really good. I'm glad you said that. And then, like you said, just knowing your numbers, because when inflation happens and you're thinking about, okay, I need to raise my prices, you don't just go and pull a price out of your head. When I sit down and I raise my prices, I consider the customer mostly, because I want it to still be affordable to them. And then I'm looking at my numbers. Well, how much was this before? And how much is it now? And what is the percentage? And how much do I have to go up? So when I raise my prices on a single item, I'm not going from it was one price and then I raise it $3. That's a significant price change on a slice of cake. So I'm looking at how can I raise the price where I'm still making money, but then it's still affordable for the customer. And I think I've had a lot of success with that. So even with everybody experiencing inflation, the customer who comes in once or twice a week, they may not buy 5 pieces of cake like they did 2 years ago, but they're still buying 2 or 3, So that's been really good for me. And then, okay, that customer may not be buying 4 and 5, but then I can reach more customers and get them to come in and they buy some. And then that makes up for, what you've lost.
Yeah, that's good. Cierra, talk to us a little bit about, we're talking about inflation, but talk to us a little bit about in terms of, I see a lot of businesses downsizing on their product. They may it may be the same, but they downsize. But what I've seen at Delicious Sweets Bake Shop, all of your products, they're kind of big portions. They're not smaller portions. But I've noticed, like, I don't care where you at, like at Sam's Club, I used to could buy some, like it was some Danishes. It was 6. Now they downsize it to 4 to keep the price the same. So you know what I'm saying? So, sometimes we see the package, it looks familiar, and we buy it, it's the same price, but yet and still it's smaller.
Yeah.
So talk to us about, because I know that's something that was big with even Delicious Sweet starting. So let's talk a little bit about that, because you didn't skimp on your sizes.
Yeah, you know what? I know exactly what you're talking about. When you go in the store and you get something, you're like, man, there used to be 10 of these. It's only 4. I think that is like cheating the customer. But I do realize that why businesses do that, and it's like you said, so they can keep the price the same. However, I have seen some products that they have downsized and the price has still gone up. So...
Yeah.
That is bad. That's
part.
Bad all around. But you know what? I think that back to when you go into how am I going to raise the price? How much am I going to increase it? That is big when you come to your pricing. And I've been able to increase my prices, but not change the quality or the size of the portion, because one thing people love about Delicious Sweets is that you're going to get your money's worth. So I'm not going to slice their cake in half and then still expect them to pay the same price. Now, it may go up 37 cents, but you still get that same big piece of cake that you can eat on 2 or 3 times, and you're happy when you walk out the door. And 37 cents, you can probably find that in your car.
Come on here.
Find that in your
floor.
car.
In the console. Right. That's good.
Yes.
That's good information. What is the next, Delicious Sweets, because inflation, tell us, do you have new stuff still coming out?
I still have new things coming out. You know what? We've took a little, I don't want to say we've taken a turn for the business, but we've added a healthy option to our menu. And we've added fresh, cold-pressed juices.
Yes.
And honestly, I think it's so funny because I have a friend who says my business is a contradiction, and I think that's hilarious, but I call it balance, So now we're giving people the option to purchase juices so they get all the nutrients and the vitamins, and it was really just because I was doing it for myself, and my customers started asking questions about it, like, what are you doing? Are you selling that? Can we have some? So yesterday I tested it out. I've sold many, many, many juices last year. But this year we will be adding it to the menu so you can get your juice and you can have your cake. But it's all about balance.
That's good. That's good. You know, cold pressed juices are the thing now. People are doing it all over. They're healthy, and it's a lot of fruits and vegetables that are that can be used for inflammation in your body or different things that's going on in your body. So, yeah.
I definitely love them, too. I've been actually, since the kick of the year, been doing smoothies.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get a juicer, so that's great. That's you already a step ahead.
Yes,
You're getting these people
get you
ready.
a juicer.
I know. I want one so bad. I've been I got my eye on one. You know, if I was smart, I would have asked for it for Christmas.
They
but that's
expensive
all right.
now.
They are.
They expensive.
I usually be
I got
planting
one.
little seeds in people's ear, like, yeah, if you just want to give me a little gift card, you know.
Sierra got a good one though. They're expensive. I have a really nice one for $300, but Sierra got a really good one. But they're expensive. If you're going to juice, get you a good juicer.
Yeah,
get you a good one.
I'm ready.
Yeah,
to
you
definitely do
know what
something
I would recommend. I always, what I did for myself is before I bought an expensive one, I got one that was very, very reasonable. And I told myself, if I could be committed with this one that was really reasonable, then I could get a better one. And I ended up breaking the one that was really reasonable because I was using it so much. So then that's why I purchased a better one. And I love my juicer. I got my juice right here. I'm drinking it.
Yes, I love that. Well, at least you have a proper balance. I like that.
Okay, so Delicious Sweets is bringing balance. So you can get your cupcakes and you can get your cold pressed juice. Now, Sierra, can you tell the listeners how can they get in touch with you?
So you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Delicious Sweets Bake Shop, and we post all of our information on our Facebook pages and our Instagram. So that's Delicious Sweets Bake Shop on Facebook and Instagram. And you can also look up Craven Cookies because we can ship those to your house. The best cookies you've ever had.
All right.
And that's Craven Cookies on Instagram and Facebook.
Y'all always make me so hungry when we be in here.
So the great thing about what we're going to do is we're going to have Sierra stick around for a little while for the show so she can engage with us. But before we actually take another break, I do want to say this. We're going to come back with LaShay McKether, the Glamorous Rebel. We'll be right back with her after we come back from the break. But I do want to say this, and I know that Dr. T, I've been talking about this, and I talked to Brenda Davis, the realtor that moves you, about this on yesterday, so I'm just going to bring it to Shay and Sierra on the air, is that we're asking, what Dr. T and I are asking is everybody that's on our Be in the Driver's Seat team to do a video, 1 minute video, 59 seconds, 1 minute, twice a month. So, Sierra, we're asking you to give us 2 videos a month, less than a minute, giving a tip, whatever you want. Shay, we're asking you to give us a video twice a month, both twice, 2 videos, because what we're going to do is I'm going to, or Dr. T and I is going to upload it on our YouTube channel, and then we're going to share it on Be in the Driver's Seat and our all personal pages on social media, because we know in order to go to another level, we got to take it up a notch, right? So just plug up your phone, looking good, whatever you want to say it, get it out. And we need a minute because, remember, I do my 2 or 3 minute videos, but you got to catch those people in that, or cut people, right? Like myself, quickly. So the minute is because I want it on YouTube. Okay, and so I'll just take that video and it'll be on Be in the Driver's Seat, it'll be on Regina Eileen Woodard, entrepreneur page, and my personal page, and Dr. T pages that she has. Because the one thing I can say about Dr. T pages is that all her guests, her church people, her friends, everybody engages with her. I need to teach my friends to engage a little bit more on that. But I always tell Dr. T is that Dr. T always, I'm trying to get her, she just started her TikTok page too, okay? She just started her Dr. T TikTok page, and I always tell Dr. T what she says in 2 minutes or 3 minutes or even a minute is a mouthful, that she will have people engaging and looking for her. And that's what you want. In order to grow something, marketing 101 to anybody that's listening, in order to grow something, you have to be consistent. And then I was having a conversation with Dr. T this morning, and we're talking about, just individuals. I don't want to give no names, but just individuals that pay money to do things, right? You got to know that you got to be on that platform for at least 6 months to a year to know that whether you're going to get something. You're not going to always get something in 2 months, 3 months, unless you already have built your brand. That's different. But anything you do not expect immediate response. You got to be consistent on all platforms. So that was my huge nugget for today, right? We'll be right back with LaShay McKether, the Glamorous Rebel. We'll be right back. Regina, the Queen of Caroline's here with Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. If you're looking to get into a new or used vehicle with affordable rates, I can get you financed today. My lenders are making unheard of deals where others are simply cannot. This month, ladies, I'm hooking you up with hair and makeup from Glamorous Rebel Hair and Beauty in Sterling Heights for the first 10 people who buy a new or used car from me. You'll be riding in style with the Queen, Regina, the Queen of Caroline's. Just Google Regina, the Queen of Caroline's.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
Are you sinking farther and further in debt? Tired of living paycheck to paycheck? Facing garnishment, repossession, or foreclosure? Thinking of filing bankruptcy but still have questions? Call Lewis Law at 248-785-3780. Attorney Lewis has over 20 years of experience handling Chapter 7 and 13 bankruptcies. The bankruptcy code is complicated, and you need an experienced attorney to guide you through the process. We can take care of your bankruptcy and probate needs. Call Lewis and Law, 248-785-3780. We are a debt relief agency. We can help people file for bankruptcy under U.S. Bankruptcy Code. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. So we're back. We're with our other main girl, our other millennium. We got Cierra and LaShay McKether.
Now she don't know me.
Shay, we can't get
people New Year be acting funny.
We can't give everybody our history. See, just stop showing out. Stop showing out, Shay.
The Glamorous Rebel.
What do you have? What are we talking about today? Glamorous Rebel. Happy Saturday, LaShay McKether, Glamorous Rebel.
Happy Saturday. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
I'm here to talk about, so me and Cierra both have some hard subjects to talk about, but I think it's important to have these subjects and have these conversations. So I'm talking about the expectations between clients and hairstylists / business owners in mine specifically is hairstylists in a salon setting. I think this is a good topic to have because it's important. It's the start of the new year. I know a lot of people are setting boundaries this year. I know that's one for me. I'm setting good boundaries within my reach just for your mental health. You need these things just to yes, Dr. T. Shout out to Dr. T. You need to set these boundaries so that we can all have better mental health and so that we can all be understanding of one another. And like we touched on earlier about open communication. That's number one for me. In a salon setting, I think it's very important to have open communication, which is why we do things like consultations, because that's the start of building that relationship and that rapport. And as well as just having our expectations set ahead of time, so that what you're going to be expecting out of me and I know what to be expecting out of you, so there isn't any misunderstanding or you just don't know like how to address certain people or how to handle certain situations unless you tell them, right? That's right. So that's first important. I think that your expectations should be a consultation. You should always receive a consultation when you're getting your hair done with someone. For one, it lets you know what you can expect out of your service, and it lets you know what level of expertise you're dealing with.
So wait,
everybody
I got a question.
Differently.
Is that you saying that everybody that gets their hair done or stylist, they should do a consultation with them?
They should at least do some sort of consultation. Like, obviously, that, if you're going in for a sleek ponytail, that doesn't require anything super crazy. And 9 times out of 10, you have a stylist that you've been going to for a long time. And we get that. But I'm talking about for people who are just starting out with a new stylist and you don't know that stylist and this is your first time coming to see the stylist, that should be their first priority.
So my question is, I hate to cut you off. My question is that a free consultation?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so I'm saying consultation because when I do my videos, I say consultation. I'm charging you now. I mean, I am. If you live in the Michigan, and I know that you're going to buy a car from me, and I get that feeling, I'm going to talk to you, right? But if you're not, I'm charging now. It's because I get people that dial my phone all times of the night. And they want to talk or they want me to call them back. And my time, I get paid to sell cars. And this is why I have the platform, the radio. And this is why I have the platform of doing my videos where I can share information, go through all my videos, get what you need. But when you say consultation, in my mind, I'm thinking, you paying.
Right, and I want to touch on that,
I just want you to be clear on that.
Yes, I wanted to touch on deposits as well. That's also a subject as well that I was going to touch on. Thank you, Regina. But as far as like if you're getting something simple, such as like you're getting a wash and go or something like that, and this is you're getting a blowout or something like that, and you already have that appointment set, yes, you do need to have a consultation with someone that comes along with that service. I'm not saying that you should just give away your time or anything like that. And when you have deposits with people, I feel like that's another important subject to also have with somebody, because when you have deposits with people, if you can't make that appointment, and you as a stylist or as the person that's of business, things happen. We're all humans. We all have emergencies and things like that. We might not be able to go to work that day. If someone has set a deposit with you, it's important for you to uphold that deposit. So if you can't make it that day, it's important that that deposit go towards a new appointment, or you have to refund that. I think that that's important. If you're not going to uphold your end of the bargain, I think that it's important that you either set that schedule for another service to go towards your next service, or you need to return that deposit because you weren't able to uphold your end of the bargain as far as having that consultation. I see you over there blinking a little bit. What you think about that, Regina?
Cierra, what do you think about that? I'll get my opinion, but Cierra, what do you think about that?
Listen, I love the whole deposit thing because deposits make sure, or they ensure, that people aren't wasting your time. And for me, if you don't make a deposit, you don't have an order. You come in, you talk about what you want to do. I do a consultation too. It's very brief. We talk about what it is that you want, but in that first couple sentences of the consultation is, are you ready to place your order and pay today? Because if you're not, then
bye, Felicia.
Like Regina said.
No, you can't, because you can't just give out your time. Like that's really your time is money, and at the end of the day, we all are professionals in our industry. So you giving out that type of information or that type of time should definitely be valued. And I'm not saying to devalue that at all. That's so. I just want to just put that out there. I'm not saying that at all, but I am saying that in the case where people oftentimes get a misunderstanding, a lot of times it's because we're not communicating with them. So during that time when you're in the chair with someone and it's your first time getting their hair done, it's important that you let those people know verbally, as well as having those things on your site, what your expectations are of them and what they can expect out of you. Another one for me, because I know that we don't have a lot of time, but another one for me was double booking. That's also something that I'm going to discuss with you when I make your appointment. If I'm double booked with somebody else and you have somewhere else that you need to be, I think that it's both important for me to let you know what my time is looking like for that day, so that you can sort yourself out accordingly for your time throughout the day. Because we all just trying to get you, you trying to get out and we trying to get you in and out as quickly as possible as well. So I think that just overall open communication is just really, really important with people when you're dealing with deposits, when you're dealing with, double booking people. And that will overall help to, have people respect your time.
So listen, I do want to say this. When I was looking, making my moves at my face, is that I'm all about the time. I mean, I am dedicated to the people that I allow to do my hair, and that is, Tamika Reynolds, Mona Lisa, husband who is a four top. But also I've let LaShay do my hair, right? But the people that I'm with, I rock with them. I don't rock with everybody in my head. I don't rock with everybody on my face. I don't rock with, I just don't. Because of who I've over the years created myself to be, who I am. I can't mess with everybody. I have a lot of customers, right? And people say, well, let me do this, let me do that. I can't. I have to stay into my bubble, right? And I'm all about time, right? Because when I say that is when you're committed to someone, you rock with them, right? But people that are not committed, you don't. But you still got to treat people the same to a certain extent. Because when I say a certain extent, I'm saying this because I would say people that come see me at the dealership, people will miss appointments, won't call, won't answer the phone. My bots will text them. They think I'm texting them, and it's my bots texting them. You remind them of the appointment, then they ignore. But the minute they're ready, they want me to pick up the phone and want me to stop, right? But that's crap. That's crap. That is. Okay? Yeah. Because I'm on commission. Cierra's on commission, right? She don't deliver no goods. She makes no money. You don't do no hair, no makeup, do whatever. You don't make no money. And then Dr. T, she's on commission too.
That's right. I work for the insurance company.
So
literally, because if you wait on them to pay you, so it's commission. But I do want to jump in and say, it depending on what industry you work in, consultations are not free. Right. Shay, I can understand, you talk to somebody in the beginning, but like Cierra said, you know what, I'm going to give you a few seconds, but after that, are you ready to pay? Because you can't sit down with Dr. T free.
I love that.
Yeah, and that's why I was saying
wait 1 second. I got to say this real quick because you're the millennium, and then I need to follow Dr. T on this one. I'm sorry. I put a little rank, didn't I? Just a little bit.
No, you did.
Okay. So look, I agree with you. It's because here's the thing. I have to tell people, I let a lady have me on the phone for 45 minutes almost a year ago, right? She came to buy a car from me. She thought the payment was too high, interest rate too high, but she had issues with her credit. She called me back, she talked to me, and I got her at 15 minutes, and I got her at 30. And then I let her talk, and I told her, I said, you know what? I'll let you talk to me for 45 minutes, but you won't ever be able to do that again. Because, and I say this now, Joe Lunghammer doesn't pay me for consultation. He pays me to sell cars. So if you have a question and you're looking to buy a car, or if you buying a car somewhere else and, after the fact you got issues, I might give you 5 minutes. Because I will, because I'm there to give you advice. But you can't take advantage of my time. And that's what people have done. Take advantage of my time.
And it's not only just that, too, but if you're having that time with someone and, for instance, for hair.
But I'm there. I got to say this. But I'm there for you because that's what I do. I sell cars. I'm there to give you advice, right? But I'm not there for you to take advantage of me. So you got that 5-minute window. Go ahead. Throwing it back to you. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. No, I was just saying, I definitely don't feel like your time should be, undervalued or anything like that. Deposits are there for a reason. But I do, as I said before, if you cannot uphold your end of the bargain with your deposit, you can't, as a stylist or a business owner, if you cannot come to that appointment to give them a proper consultation and they put a deposit down for any service that you can't make, I think it's just within good decency to be able to return that deposit if you can't uphold that. But on the other
when you say return, what you mean? I'm confused. So if a person don't show up, right? They don't show up, you keep the deposit.
Right.
No, she's saying if she don't.
If I don't show up as the owner. If the person doesn't show up, then yes, I'm keeping that deposit. Because not only did you not communicate with me that you weren't showing up to that appointment, but even if you did communicate and it was within 24 hours, we have to buy products. And that's another thing. You have to get ready. You have to get products for the actual service, especially if you're getting a hair color service, and which leads into I wanted to explain why we do deposits, right? Deposits not only are just so that we can, ensure that you're going to be able to make your appointment, but the deposit also goes towards the products that are purchased to go towards your appointment. You know what I mean? We can't just pay for things out of pocket and think, not receive any type of compensation for the products that we buy. It all goes into knowing your numbers, right? And so that's pretty much what leads into why people do deposits. I have a lot of people that ask me, well, why is your deposit this much? Or, what is it going towards? And so that's why I think it was a good discussion to have, this discussion of what our expectations are of one another. Because, it's not just going in my pocket, like we said earlier. These things are all going back into the business. And so, that's just one of those hard conversations that, I know it gets heated between people a lot of times, but they want to know, why are you charging me for a consultation? Or, why are you charging me and your appointment was at this time? Or even if you have to move things around, communication is just so key in any type of service or industry that you're in. Communicating with your client or your stylist 24 hours in advance, even if you think that something might change within 24 hours or something might happen. We're all people too. Talk to us.
But, Shay, I really like the fact that we're talking about consultations because, sometimes a client can come in and have expectations that we want our hair a certain way, but a professional stylist will be able to tell us, like, for instance, I want a hair color, but I've worn braids so long that my hair is weak right now. So now's not the time to get color in it, right? So that's something that you would learn through a consultation, right?
Right.
And so you'll be better able to service your client, your current client, future client, by just telling them what the hair texture can, what's good for the hair texture, what product to use. So consultations are very good because that's how you learn things.
Right.
And oftentimes when you don't have consultation, sometimes I've seen stylists where you go in, you sit in their chair, and they do whatever you want them to do, and then that could cause breakage, damage to the hair, and things like that. So I really like the fact that you're talking about consultations. And sometimes we get caught up on putting deposits down, but if you're going to get a service, that deposit is going towards your service.
Exactly. Your deposit is going to go towards your service. So it's not like you're leaving out and you are spending more money than what you would have spent initially anyway. It's going towards your service, and it's going towards the products that are used for your service.
Cierra, did you have something?
I love that you're talking about this because, I think it's a little bit different for like the millennials because I've been seeing so many people get on social media platforms and they're talking about how stylists don't do this or they don't do that or they cancel their appointments or why do I have to pay deposits? I've seen that so much. I don't know if other people have seen it, but even in the last month or so, I've just been seeing so many people posting about that. So I think it's great that you're talking about it, especially when you really are heavy on communication and the fact that people who provide services are human too. So something may come up and you have to cancel an appointment, but I love that you give your people their deposit back because there's so many people, and that's what most of the posts are about. Like, oh, this person had an appointment for me. They canceled it with no explanation, and they didn't give me my money back. And then that's where you start with bad business. People start bashing you. They're posting your information, and that's just bad business overall. So I love that you're talking about this and educating people on how to properly do these things because if something comes up in your life and you have to cancel or reschedule or what have you, you giving them their deposit back is absolutely what you should do. And I've done the same thing in my own business.
Exactly. Because, things happen. I'm whether you're a mom or a student or a sister or a daughter or a cousin or whatever, we all have different things going on that happen in our lives. And, emergencies happen. You know what I mean? Certain things happen in life that, you don't really foresee. And I do understand that too. But again, that open communication, if your stylist says that you have to give them a 24-hour notice, a 24-hour notice is not only just for them, but it's for you. And on top of that, we have booth rents at the end of the day. Some people have booth rents, some people have suites, some people have an entire building that they have to pay for. And those lights are not going to stay on, if we don't have people in the doors or in our chairs. So whether or not you were able to make your appointment or not, if it's that day of, unfortunately, most stylists, and I'm one of them, your deposit is going to be kept because it's literally the day of. There's no way that I can fill somebody else in that spot or in that slot because your slot was already taken. Now, 24 hours in advance, somebody has time to book an appointment. So, yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. It's important to have that open dialogue and just to be understanding of one another. Everybody has a job at the end of the day, and everybody has other things going
Shay,
on.
how can we reach you? Hate to cut you off, but we got to take a break. Shay, how can we reach you?
You can reach me at Glam Rebel Hair X Beauty on IG. Again, that's Glam Rebel X Beauty. And then I'm also on Vagaro.com/Glamorous Rebel Hair and Beauty if you would like to book an appointment.
All right, thank you, ladies, for joining us this Saturday morning. Thank you so much. We actually gave them extended time this morning because, we had good conversation. So we wanted to give them the floor this morning. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. Joe Longhammer just texted and said, hey, it's time for my commercials to play. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Dave Wilkie, Service Manager at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. Since the 1950s, Joe Longhammer and his family have been honored to service your vehicles. With 112 years of combined service experience, we can take care of any concern you might have. From warranty work to routine oil changes, we treat your vehicle like our own. Call now to schedule the next service appointment at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. Stop by anytime, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Get your vehicle serviced right every time. Call 248-683-7100. That's 248-683-7100.
Chevrolet. Find new roads.
My name is Marilyn Walker, and I am your advocate attorney. For over 25 years, I've helped your friends and neighbors by providing solid legal advice and strategy during difficult times. My clients will tell you that I am experienced, knowledgeable, caring, and reasonable. If divorce, custody, support, or visitation are critical issues facing you, stop worrying and call me, Marilyn Walker, the advocate attorney, at 248-332-2227. Allow a skillful lawyer to advocate for you.
Hey, so we're back, and you're still listening to Be in the Driver's Seat. And I wanted to finish, Dr. T wanted to finish, well, actually, we all wanted to finish the last segment and just talk about cars. It's all about cars. You guys know I sell cars at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. If you want to put an application in, you can go to my website 24 hours a day. Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, with an S.com. Regina, the Queen of Car Loans.com. It also has my inventory on it. But I wanted to talk, I'm talking to anybody out there who has a car and you know it's time to trade. And I want to give you some pointers on when do you know it's time to trade. So number one is think about the repair costs. If your repair costs, if you find yourself spending money continuously on an older vehicle and mounting it together, and the money that you spent on that older car, you could have spent that money getting a newer car. Not a new car with 0 miles on it, but a newer car. A new car to you, meaning used or pre-owned. So if you spent, maybe you spent $2,500 on the transmission, right? Oh, I'm sorry, that's low. You spent $4,000 on the engine, right? Then a year later, your engine went out again. But they promised you and they told you you were going to be able to get 100,000 more miles on that engine. It's time to do something else. Or you're having the same problem with the same vehicle, and you didn't spend thousands and thousands of dollars. It's time for you to do what? Give it a funeral. Have you ever had a funeral for your car, Dr. T?
Oh, absolutely. I remember I had a 1987 Buick, and it had more rust on it than it had blue, and it had 2 holes in the back, and I thought we was the Flintstones. But yeah, that was my first car, and I bought it from Allen Ford. Somebody traded it in, and I bought it from Allen Ford for $485.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What about you, Shay? Have you ever had a funeral with your car?
I have. I've had a couple of funerals with a couple of cars.
Girl, you was young because your parents always got you. You already had new lease cars when you got there. Okay.
No, I had my Cavalier. I had my green
Was it
Gremlin.
blue?
It was a 98 Cavalier. Green.
It was green?
Yeah, my daddy put a new little radio in there for me. We was banging, okay?
He was banging, 2-door, right?
2007, 2008, I had my car. But yeah, so that was my little baby, and we rode around in it, but somebody hit me.
Totaled it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you had a funeral.
I did.
You didn't have no choice, right?
I didn't have no choice. I had to let her go.
Sierra's not on here, but she had 2 funerals. She had two funerals, but they were brand new cars, but hers was totaled out funerals.
Oh, man. My other one was a Focus. Was a Ford Focus. I think that was a 2001 Ford Focus, and I had a funeral for that one, too. And, man, that one had me on the side of the road. That was done. I was ready to give that funeral. I was mad. I was in the middle of Cincinnati, like, what I'm going to do with this?
Listen, okay, I have one.
So another point we have out there, if you're bored, we all go through that time where we're bored. we figure we need to get another car, right? But everybody can't get another car because they're bored. So, I think I'm bored with my vehicle, right? So I'm bored. So what I'm going to do is I'm getting rid of my vehicle. After the winter's over, I'm getting rid of my vehicle. I'm getting rid of my truck, right? Because I'm preparing for the next one. Okay. But I'm bored. It's roomy, it's big. But I was good when I first started putting, you guys notice I didn't tell you the name of it, right? But I was good in the beginning because it was costing me $60 to fill this truck up, right? And sports utility, not a pickup truck, but it was costing me $60, $65 to fill it up. But when gas went up, it started costing me $110, $115 to fill it up.
Easy.
So that's my groceries for 1 week. Mm-hmm. So now, since inflation is gas has come down. Last night when I filled up down the street from work, I filled up and I was at $72, $73.
Well, gas is cheaper than eggs. A gallon of gas is cheaper than a dozen of eggs.
No.
Literally.
Sounds like it.
It is. Literally it is. $4.09 is eggs at Aldi.
Wow. So another great point is if you get a raise. You get a raise on your car. Right? You get a raise. You're making more money.
I'm like, why you get a raise on your car? Wait a minute. I got geeked. I'm like, I'm about to get a raise on my car.
Okay, so if you got a raise, you know what? You probably say, it's time for me to get a vehicle. It's time for me to get a new vehicle. So why not? Treat yourself. You got a raise. Mm-hmm. Or the last one, let me say this, or the last two. But this last one, before I get to the last one, is you're embarrassed to be seen. If you parking around the block, or you parking way back in the parking lot where you don't want nobody to see what you get out of, it's time for you to get something else.
Let it go.
It's time for you to let it go, right?
Regina, listen, I promise you, I promise you, I had a vehicle, I had to put a rock behind it so it wouldn't jump out of gear. I had to put a rock behind it.
Was this?
It was 1987. No, the car was a 1987, and I was still driving.
You're in high school, though.
And I said the car was a 1987. Oh, yeah. I didn't say I had it in 1987. And it was a Chevrolet. And it would jump out of gear, and I put a rock on it. If anybody listening, y'all remember that rock.
You needed to get it fixed. Listen, hold on, let me Chevy. You probably need to get it fixed.
No. I did need to get it fixed, but I was a struggling individual. So let me clear the air. So I put a rock in it. It would jump out of gears, but y'all I just really have to tell y'all this real quick. So I went to trade it in to get a new car because I got a few more dollars. So like Regina said, I got a raise. I went to trade it in. So I hurry up and jumped out of it, and I put the rock behind it, right? But I forgot to bag it in and put the rock. So I'm driving off the parking lot with the new vehicle, and the car is out of gear and it's rolling.
Oh, no. That's their problem.
I rolled clean up out of it with a new vehicle.
So listen, my last tip is safety. Dr. T hit that on the button. Hit that on the head, right? Not on the button, on the head. If you have your vehicle and you got to put a rock behind your wheel, get a new vehicle. It don't have to be a new vehicle with no miles on it. It can be a nice used vehicle. But if you got a safety problem, if you gotta start from a block up before you get home with trying to stop putting on the brakes, then you need to give it up. And let me just say this, we're laughing about things like this, and we know that most of the time it's your situation, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
That you have to be. But think about this. Do you need a safer car? Yeah. Because you have an outfit that costs you $300. Or maybe your hair that you bought in the store, right? It costs you $500. By the time you got your hair done, your stylist put it on, then you got your makeup done, and then you hung out for the weekend, you didn't spend $300 to $500, right?
Mm-hmm. Easy.
Just do an easy thing. You know what? Get your hair done where you ain't got to get it done. You got that hair or that weave where it's going to last 30 days. Get a Glamorous Rebel wig. Okay?
Right.
Oh, no, she didn't throw it in there, but I like
that.
But I
love it, though. You guys, so every situation is different. So you have to, purchase according to your situation. But I do want to say this. It doesn't matter how you start. It's how you finish.
Whoa,
so even
go
though
ahead,
I
Dr.
had
T.
those vehicles, and I had vehicles with holes in the back, vehicles that I had to put a rock under, but now I'm driving better. So, when you're in a position to drive better, you get better, right?
You drive better, you do better. When you do better, you drive better.
Well, when you got the funds to drive better.
Right.
What I like about it is, like you say, a use is new to you, right? So I started with 1987, but I'm okay today, so I'm thankful.
But you know what? She's okay today, and she's thankful. Yeah. So, you know what? We had a great show today. We had our millenniums. Did I say that right?
Millennials
on, and we had a great show. So, and then we finished up with the car tips so that when Joe Longhammer listens, he'll hear, something about the Queen. The Queen talked about some tips. You guys, again, you know where I work, Joe Longhammer Chevrolet, located in Waterford, Michigan. Also know that people do travel for me. So if you're in Flint, you're in Saginaw, you in Inkster, it's not an issue to come see the Queen. And then if you live in another state, we just need to talk, and I need to see what state you live in. Okay? You guys have a great week, and you'll hear us same time, same place, 8:30 to 9:30 next Saturday morning. Thanks for listening to Be in the Driver's Seat. And Dr. T, give him a shout out and tell him to have a good week.
Have a good week, everybody. Happy Saturday, and we'll see you next week.
Happy Saturday. Have a good week.
Have a good week, guys. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Be in the Driver's Seat with Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and mental health expert, Dr. Teresa Moore.
Brought to you by Joe Longhammer Chevrolet of Waterford.
Be in the Driver's Seat, a Saturday morning mix of cars, credit, and wellness created just for you. From Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and Dr. Teresa Moore, thank you for listening.